All right, this was the Yungeen Ace, man. Let me talk to you, family. This is the Yungeen Ace, right? Gangster to gangster. This is not a movie scene that you're acting out. Let's get this right. I see you acting out the Scarface movie scene in this. I'm going to talk to you gangster to gangster because ain't nobody else talking to you that I could see. You know, I may be wrong, but, you know, like I said, Yungeen Ace, you know, let me talk to you, gangster. This is not a movie scene you acting out at all. There's real life consequences to your actions, like death and incarceration. All right? And this is what we're going to try and prevent you from both of those right now. Let's start this thing popping, man. All right? All right, so this is what it is, man. Unique Maker Audio, right? Yungeen Ace, check it out, right? You know what I mean? This is not a closed case. I heard you say that, you know, on Game Over. I don't know if you believe that or that was just a part of the lyrics, but I'm letting you know, this is not a closed case. This case hasn't even begun yet, you know? Please. And so you understand, I know you're angry and you have a right to be angry. Like I said, I lost my brother too to the head. I was handcuffed and shackled to a prison metal table as they laid out pretty 8x10 glossy pictures of my brother's brains out, which is equivalent to what you have. You understand what I'm saying? Going on where you was there when that went down with your, you know, your brother and your comrades. So that's why I feel like I could talk to you, you know. I know you're hurting. You know what I mean? Like I said, I lost my brother. We're going to get this right. Let me talk to your viewers for a minute, right? I'm going to talk to the viewers. This for the viewers, right? This is for the viewers so you understand, right? Y'all don't understand that he's living a real life that you know nothing about, that you have nothing to do with. So that means you have nothing to say about it. If you want to sit back and enjoy the ride on YouTube, everything that they putting out, sit back and enjoy the ride. But let me talk to this young man now for a minute, and y'all just sit back and don't touch nothing. That's all I'm asking. I don't think that's asking too much, right? Now, so you understand. We don't think about our consequences, right? We only think about, you know, getting our man and getting away with it. So we don't think about our consequences. Somebody pisses us off, we're on the street, we know only one way, and that's street justice. You blow his face off. Yo, hold up. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to tap out for you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls that don't want the real. This is for the people that want the real. This is the way it goes on the street. I spent 26 years of my life in federal prison for everything that this young man is going through. So I'm trying to talk to him so he don't wind up being like me with wrinkles in his face 30 years later because there was nobody there to tell him what time it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's real life consequences, right? We only think about, you know, getting our man and getting away with it. But, you know, you think getting away with it means for the moment. That's how we feeling. Like, as long as I blow his face off, I kill this bastard, you know what I mean? And nobody see me and I get away clean, I'm good. We think get away clean, but we don't know that there's a whole nother game going on behind the scenes. And that's the game of the investigation of the homicide. But we think we got away with it because we already know, like we grew up playing cops and robbers, like just like he was just doing shooting with your fingers. That's how we grew up. You know, it's a real game. There's another set of players that's trying to solve these crimes and put us away for violating the Constitution of the United States. And that's their job. It's our job when we're on the street to get away with it. We think we got away with it in our minds. We didn't get away with it. It's only in our minds, because in someone else's mind, they're trying to solve it and they're saying they think they got away with it. And they're saying, I'm going to catch these bastards. And the first thing they're thinking is, we need to catch a rat bastard. Once we catch a rat bastard, we know they're going to flip and they're going to give us everything they want to do. You know what I mean? Now, I want to get into the lyrics, right? Y'all need, but before I do that, I want to just let y'all know something, the viewers know something, right? You know, not the loyal viewers, the viewers that come here to learn something and, you know, respect, you know, the Cash App. You know what I mean? Which is unique. Make a haul. Make sure you hit the logo, and it says it was created in 2020. The game I'm giving you is priceless. You can't go nowhere else and get this. You go to Hooters with them big titty chicks, and y'all tipping when it take them an hour to bring you a hamburger and a milkshake. You know what I mean? But you still tipping, and these people even put it on the check. You come here and get these jewels, and you expect to get it for nothing, but you want to tip for bad service. Okay? But you're getting good game. Somebody make it make sense to me, right? Now, y'all need to sit back and mind your business, no disrespect. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. That's it. You know what I mean? You know, just don't touch nothing. Don't say nothing unless you got a legitimate comment, you know, of concern, or you have a question that need to be asked in a professional manner. Now, we feel good when we hear our ops got hit, so you understand, right? I'm putting myself in his frame of mind because I'm talking to, you know, Yungeen Ace right now. We feel good when our ops get hit. We feel good when we hear our ops got their face blown off. You understand? You feel sympathy. You know, we have no sympathy and no empathy. We just want get back. We want blood. That's it. If I don't want you on the street, because I don't want you to have to even think like this, to be as cold-hearted and callous, where you have your loved ones telling you, my grandkids tell me, Daddy, you got no emotion. You know, I'm like, I know, I'm trying to learn, baby. I'm trying to learn. I don't dispute it because I already know, because certain things they do or they might say that other grown-ups or other people laugh at, I sit there stone-faced because it's not funny to me, because I haven't, you know, transitioned to putting myself in a frame of mind to dealing with a 7-year-old kid or a 12-year-old kid, because I've been going 30 years. So here it is 30 years later, now I have to smile when they tell a joke that they like, you know? I'm doing a video just when they, you know, the thing. I'll call you right back. Okay. Yeah, so that's what's going on, right? You know, like I said, sometimes I got to answer when they call, because that's how real I am, because I'm living a real life. Like, they living real life out there with what they doing. But like I said, you feel sympathy. You understand? We want to celebrate, you know, bust bottles, right? Have good sex at the end of the night and bust a good gangster nut. You know what I mean? After blowing somebody's face off. When you go home and tremble under your mattress. You know what I mean? Which is understandable, because that's what you're supposed to do. So don't think that I'm glorifying, I'm bragging nothing. I'm just letting you know where our mind frame is at when we out in the street, in the trenches, man. This young man is in the trenches, and I want him to understand that I understand what you're going through, and they took 26 years of my life for me to know what I know, and I don't want them to have to take 26 years of your life. And I was lucky, like I said yesterday, I was lucky to get 26 years. When I had 26 years, and if they would have came to me, and this is a true story, right hand to God, you know, wallahi, check. If they would have came to me when right before they released me and said, sign this cop out now, you have life plus 20, and we'll give you 35 years, but you got to do 10 more years, I would have taken that deal, because I was scheduled to die. You see how my consequences play out? And now I'm telling you how his consequences play out. He chose the street. The police have nothing to do with it. It's them against us. That's the way we think. So we have to do what we have to do to survive. When somebody cross our path and violate the street code, it's game over. And game over don't mean we start the game over. That means a player has been eliminated. So you understand. That's what game over mean. The players are dead. There's no do-overs. We don't want you dead, Yungeen Ace. You're a talented young man. You got the bag to work your way out this situation, because the environment that you was placed in, you chose to do what you had to do to survive, because you made a wrong step by coming off the porch or being entered into the porch, off the porch. However it was, You know, it was the wrong choice. I know that at 60 years old, going in at 29, and here it is 31 years later. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here telling you this after they kidnapped me for my actions for 26 years of my life, of my youth. They're trying to take your life and your youth, young man. We don't want them to take your life and your youth. That's why I'm going to break down to the people watching this so maybe they can have some empathy towards what you're going through when you make statements like you do in the songs about blowing their face off and the chopper and, you know, all of this, because that's the life you chose that they don't understand. They think they're watching a damn movie. This is no movie. At the end of the movie, you walk out the theater, but the players are still in the movie. And Yungeen Ace is still in the movie. And that's what I'm trying to let you know. Like I said, man, we feel great when we bust our ops in the face. We feel great. But we don't stop to think or even look at the body to know the carnage that we've left behind. Because the object is to get away. And he violated, so he paid under the street code that we took an oath to. I know y'all don't understand this. I don't expect you to understand this. I don't expect you to agree with me with none of this. Because I'm not there mentally now, but I have to tap back into that gangster self to talk to this gangster young man to let him know that he must separate the gangster from the street. You made it out the street. We hit the street to get the bag. We get the bag, we do something legal, and we walk away from the street and the game. But we still make sure our comrades in the street that didn't figure out a plan like we figured it out, because we can't take all of them with us, but we let them know whatever assistance you need, we here. A platform like he has, a platform like I have. The man got almost 4 million views in 2 days. That means any one of his comrades trying to do anything, sell anything, promote anything, that's the man to go to. That's how he could give it back, but he can't take the whole hood with him, but he could always go back and assist the hood by giving them a helping hand up. And that's what the issue is, and this is how real I am. I'm going to ride with you right now. You know, I'm going to ride with you. This is going to be a good show. It's going to be a good one. Now, that's the same thing like Diddy, right? We're going to take Diddy for a good example. I know Diddy from the street. I know Diddy from college. I used to go to Howard University on Georgia Ave, you know what I mean, when I had the dope spot up there on Otis Avenue and the McDonald's was down the street from the Howard. I was going to, you know, Diddy's party on Georgia Ave. My Jamaican homies had a Jamaican club up the street while he was in college. That's how well I know him. When I got locked up, he looked out, and my baby mother and my brother's baby mother, he gave them both a job working at Bad Boy. I couldn't ask for nothing else because he's making sure that my children's mother's in a position to eat and my children can eat. But then now, whatever happened, right, that's how close we was, so you understand. Now, 26 years go by, and he sent a couple of pictures here and there, you know, through one of the homies, because, you know, he couldn't keep in touch with me because I was a kingpin. Fully understood, Diddy, just so you understand, right? This for Diddy and, you know, this young man, so y'all understand what's going on. I'm taking y'all into a unique world and a unique ride. You know, now I come home after 26 years. I got a YouTube channel. I had to go on my nephew Queen's Flip show to get my alley-hoop. And my man Bootsy from Street Knowledge Podcast. Make sure y'all go check out Street Knowledge Podcast and Queen's Flip Podcast. Bootsy took me to Queen's Flip and gave me a hand up. Bootsy wasn't worrying about me coming home, going on YouTube and blowing up past him on YouTube or blowing up on YouTube, because Bootsy wasn't even on YouTube. But Bootsy wasn't worrying about me elevating past him. But you got dudes like y'all, Diddy, that worry about dudes like me getting on. Because, you know, as long as my numbers could stay contained to wherever the algorithm on YouTube allow me to be seen, that's less people that will see what a real gangster look like. Y'all been moving, right? You rappers since, you know, me and the homies been going, C-Dog, Cass, you know, JR from Chicago, Booby from Booby Boys, you know, Lou Sims, like I said, I always say Farris because those are real gangsters out of New York. Rudy Williams out of Baltimore, Guy Fisher, William Underwood, I can Boy George, Jimmy Fingers, I can name Big Chuck, Haitian Chuck, I can name names all day of other gangsters. I'm not the only gangster. But they had us locked away. And right now, these little rappers, right? And I'm gonna call them little rappers because they was our little homies. These little rappers, they got so comfortable, you know, being the big nigga while we was gone, that now that we back, instead of them dealing with loyalty and saying, yo, Unique, I see you starting a YouTube channel. Let me get on your joint so I can tell my 20 million people, you know, that I got following me on Instagram to check out your show. And a nigga would make a nice bag. And a nigga didn't ask you for nothing. For nothing. And that's why, right? That's right. Let me ride. Let me rhyme. Yo, Yungeen Ace, pay attention to this, man, so you understand where you went, what you got to do when you get there. Now, I'm going to give Jim Jones his props, right? We're going to give Jim Jones a round of applause and, you know, 5 mics. We're going to give them a round of applause. Jim Jones and 5 mics, and Pimpin' Ken. But definitely Jim Jones and 5 mics for this statement that I'm getting ready to make. Now, 5 mics, right? I put up a video on Vlad TV. 5 mics jumped out there, said something. Jim Jones, you know, corrected him, let him know who I was, that I was outside, and don't speak on things you don't know about. And 5 mics respected that wholeheartedly. Me and him communicated with each other, and we did a video together. It got lost in my editor's hard drive because the computer crashed. So it took a minute to get it done. I'm getting ready to air it this week for sure. But 5 mics came and said, let me help you out, OG. You know, I got X amount of people. I'm signed with Fat Joe. I'm going to do an interview with you to help give you that alley-hoop. That's what 5 mics did. He deserves a round of applause for that. That's a real nigga. Calm down, man. Let me tell the story. Because it's going to be a minute. This might be a 40-minute take, 45-minute. I just feel like riding, right? We're going to get back to, you know, Yungeen Ace. But I did this deal with, you know, Yungeen Ace also. Now, that's how he did it. Then I run into Jim Jones. Jim Jones was a baby when I got locked up. You know, I got locked up in '93. He was a baby. He was a little teenage kid. You understand what I'm saying? But he was outside and he seen what was going on. He heard what was going on. He knows who I am, my name, and such. But he never met me personally. But when I met Jim Jones personally, I told Jim Jones straight up, I don't want $1 from you. I just want to interview my brother. You know, help me get my joint jumped off. I got a little YouTube channel. Yeah, a little YouTube channel. And Jim said, no problem, OG. You definitely got that. And then we go and we met up at Bodega in the Bronx, you know, and we out there, and Jimmy, you know, doing a verse for another one of the homies that he's giving a hand up. And then, you know, I say, yo, Jimmy, I got a joint out there with Dave East, you know what I mean, I want you to check it out, He said, all right, let me hear it. So I give it to him, I play it, he hears it, he loves it. He said, I got you. He wrote 16 for me on the spot and went in the booth and knocked it out, because I didn't ask him for a dime. And his pockets had the moments like mine's had back in the day. But I'm not asking for nothing out of his pocket. You know what I mean? Because I don't need your fish to eat. I need you to teach me to fish so I can eat every day. You know what I mean? I don't need you to give me a fish to eat while I'm hungry now, and then tomorrow I got to come ask you for another fish. You know? And that's what Jimmy did. Jimmy taught me and gave me an assistance, you know what I mean, in my fishing, so that I could eat. And I appreciate that. I didn't even air the video out yet. I'm going to try and air it this week, but I want to check with 5 mics first, because he was the first rapper that came to me, you know what I mean, to look out for the OG to help me get my name out there. So, you know, I got to ask his permission. Yeah, that's how real niggas do. I got to ask his permission if it's all right to put out Jim Jones joint first, or if, but it ain't even that. He's ready, because he wasn't ready because I had lost the tape, you know what I mean, in the hard drive. But now that I got it, I know he was saying he wanted to promote it before I put it out, so I want to know if he's still with that or he gave up because it took a minute. But anyway, let me ride back to this, right? So now, we're talking about Yungeen Ace, right? But thank you, Jimmy, and thank you, 5 mics. Now, let me explain to you, right, so you understand this right here. You see where I left off, where I said we feel good when we hear our ops got hit, that we, you know, that you feel sympathy, but we want to celebrate and bust bottles, you know what I mean, have good sex at the end of the night and bust a good gangster nut, right? That's like Tupac said. See, I stay on my ride, so just don't touch nothing and let me ride. Just like Tupac said, right? So let me explain that. Tupac said in Hail Mary, right? He said, revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. Tupac Shakur. And this is you know, Tupac was telling y'all about Yungeen Ace and Coolio, Julio Fulio, and King Vaughn and FBG Duck. Tupac was talking to you about all of them back then when he was calling himself a thug, but the media played this game and tried to make us stop using certain terminologies. You understand what I'm saying? So now you got the thugs growing up over here, and you got the civilians growing up over here, and they don't cross paths because it's not in the media, because this is before YouTube. It's not in the media about a thug, so it kind of died out. But the whole time you still had thugs growing up and being made in the hood. You understand what I'm saying? So now, revenge is like the sweetest joy to getting pussy, right? Like Yungeen Ace said in his song, right? He said, I kill for shit like this. You know, I live for shit like this. Any nigga that any nigga that went to the grave and took pictures, they got hit. Any nigga that made the list got their head split. This is gangster talk, because this is how we's living. When you talking about going to someone loved one's grave and disrespecting it, and they're not here to physically do it, then that means that you feel it's your duty and obligation to defend your comrade that died during the struggle, man. And that's all he's doing. Allegedly. You know what I mean? For you rat bastard quick to be like, oh, you need back audio tell I thought he was gangster. Nigga, you don't know what a gangster is, so you can never judge me. And any one of you rat bastards that flip and work with the government and think you could talk against a man that stood 10 toes down, could suck your mother. Just stay in your place. You broke weak, we understand that. No one is disrespecting that. But when you go disrespecting men of honor, it's the same thing like Yungeen Ace feel like when, Julio Fulio, allegedly had something to do, with the bodying of his loved ones and him getting shot. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? In my Chris Tucker voice, the little Chinese cat, no disrespect to him, Jackie Chan. You know what I mean? So, that's where we at. So you understand where we at. So then he said, right? He said, any nigga that get caught coming out the trap, I bet he got his head split. You know what I mean? He got his head flipped. He said, any nigga coming out the trap, I bet you got his head flipped. That's what he said. You know what I mean? Then he said, nigga I caught out the trap, I parked the car and bust them. They screaming, rest in peace, and I'm yelling. You see what I'm saying? This is a gangster talking to you. He's letting you know that he's getting his bag, you know what I mean, by taking it from any nigga that got it. And yeah, I'm saying nigga, if y'all don't like it, get the off my channel, because I'm talking to my niggas right now. This is how the young people talk. You older dudes that was brainwashed, by the media to bury the N-word for whatever insecurities they got because they got backlash for using it against us because they put us in a frame of mind like we was back in the 1800s on Toby's plantation. You know what I mean? You should have just shut up and left our word alone. We took your negative word to mean that. And nigga really means king. Look that up. I'm going to do a whole video on the word nigga for y'all, because y'all seem to have a problem when I say nigga. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have to enlighten y'all on that. That nigga really means king. You know what I mean? And that's their definition. I'm going to show you that later. You know what I mean? So you rat bastards, put it in there. Because y'all run with the Europeans. Anything they tell you, you believe. You know what I mean? So now, right? Like he said, right? He said, y'all screaming rest in peace after I rob a nigga and put a bullet in his head and take his life and make it game over. And I'm saying F him. You see the difference where your mentality is at? So don't judge this young man. Let me deal with this young man. Because I was dead. My brother Khalif was dead. But he's dead now, 2 to the head, just like his brother is dead. But we left out here And it took me 26 years to get where I'm at. So I'm trying to give Yungeen Ace and anyone else that's watching this, that's having these issues, a direction to go in to let them see what the end result looked like. 26 years in prison, dead like my brother Khalif, or out here on YouTube asking for cash app, as these rat bastards would say. But they look for anything to say, which is crazy. But they go to the restaurant and the motherfucker tell them, you know what I mean? Give me a tip. Or you got I went in one joint, a little restaurant, and they tried to tell me that I had to pay a cover charge just to get in. I said, no, I'm going to buy drinks at the bar and I'm planning on eating. They said, no, but you got to pay a cover charge. I said, the cover charge, what? He said, just for entering. You know what I mean? And somebody said, excuse me, to me, I'm holding up the line, and they walked by and paid the cover charge. I said, good gonna go. What the hell is going on here? You're paying to go in so that you can spend your money. And this is not a club. This is a restaurant lounge. But, you know, they fall with it, but then when you say, give me a cash app because I just gave you some jewels that could save your life, then they say, oh, you begging on cash app, you being Reverend Ike. But that's what rat bastards do, because they know that my message is powerful and they trying to dilute it and trying to re-divert it. You know what I mean? Young man said, he said, tell the ops, go outside and slide for 6. He made a song after Julio Fulio passed, rest in peace, and said, tell the ops. So he's telling them that it's a war. Do y'all understand that what a war mean? He said, ain't nowhere for y'all to run. Y'all boys can't hide from this. He said, y'all don't want no war with this. You understand? So he's letting you rat bastards and my regular viewers, subscribers, and visitors to the channel that's actually trying to learn what's going on. He's letting y'all know that he's in a war. In a war, anything goes. That's why when they kidnapped my mother, tied her up, pistol whipped her, you know, during the time, you know, of me selling drugs, it was a war on drugs. I had the bag and you had goons just like this young man saying, come out the trap, I'ma catch you, and flip that wig. Dude tried to run up in the crib and flip my mama wig. I didn't run to the police, and I didn't do none of that because the police had nothing to do with me getting the bag to be in the situation that I'm in, and I'm never gonna work with the police, period, while I'm on the street. And neither is anyone. And if they do, then they got no business being in the street. Go get a job, my brother. I'm highly requesting. I know I'm begging you. Go get a job and go to school, y'all. That's what y'all need to do. I'm begging you. The old man is begging you. Go get a job and go to school. Get a trade. Get something. Don't follow in my footsteps. Don't get caught up because, you know, you was in the hood and the things that was exposed to you was, you know, Grand Theft Auto and all the violent video games and violent movies, and then that became part of your psyche. That's what made you who you are, but now we have to reverse that. And that's what we're trying to do over here at Mecca Audio. So you understand, you know? Like he said, yo, that's crazy. He said straight up, he said, tell the ops to go outside and slide for 6. Ain't nowhere you could run. Y'all can't hide. Meaning he know the same thing goes towards him because they're after him, but he's letting them know I'm ready for war. That means he's ready to die in the streets for y'all subscribers and regular viewers that's watching. That's the explanation. But now to you rat bastards that want to act like you're a part of the street and you're not willing to live by the code and honor that this young man and young Thugger is showing you by sitting there doing that trial where it took 10 months to pick the jury. I went through similar circumstances, so I know what Young Thug is doing. I got empathy for the underdog. But I feel he'll prevail in this because he's being exposed because they got cameras in the courtroom. They didn't have cameras in the courtroom when I was there. They just had elevators to take us up to the rope. I mean the courtroom, because all they did was hang us. You know what I mean? Just so you understand. Yungeen Ace said, right? He said, hold up. He told niggas you don't want no war with this, right? Let's go in order. He said, you don't want no war with this, you don't want no war with this, right? Then he said, any niggas any nigga, right? He said, any niggas play, you niggas can get it too. He said, any of you rap niggas, that's what he said. Any of you rap niggas, right? You talking to you rap niggas that's out there rapping, trying to get it, you know, your bag to get out the game and doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Let me say that, right? He's saying if that's what y'all are doing, you know what I mean? Stay in your lane. But he's letting it be known that he's still bout it on the streets. And that's why I'm trying to take him off of the streets and bring him over here to see that he made it. And the object is to get away from any harm, including incarceration, not just a physical bullet. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you didn't already. Hit the notification bell, man. Everybody subscribe now. Take time to hit the notification bell. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Let me finish. Young Ace, right? Like I said, he said, any niggas, right? Any niggas play you, niggas can get it too, right? Any of you rap niggas, you know, try and play, you can get it too. I don't know who he think he fooling. Right? He talking about Julio. He said, I don't know who he think he fooling. Voodoo, come get him. That means he's even willing to go to war with the other world. I don't even want to put a name on it because people, you know, believe in that wholeheartedly. But he's saying that he's willing to fight, you know what I mean, with the spirits and anything else. You know what I mean? And he said a line in here that's coming up that explains what is going on, right? He said, I don't know, right? I don't know why the fuck they thought I was losing, right? I was always up, right? Up on them bodies, is what he said. I didn't even have to translate that. He said, I don't know who they think was losing. I've always been up. Talking about them bodies. He letting you know what game he's playing and talking about. So you understand, he's talking about the murder game. We don't want none of y'all involved in that. We trying to get him away from it, but I'm translating it so you understand how serious this song was, because he's letting it be known that he's at war and he's willing to take any life that it takes because he's in war and there's casualties of war. The same way, you know, we need to say a prayer for Julio Fulio's mother got shot 8 times. Come on, man. Who wants their mother shot caught up in this? But everything goes out here. That's why I'm telling you, don't come out here. Everything goes out here, man. Do not come out here. I'm telling you, don't come out here on the street. Enjoy the street from YouTube. Enjoy the streets from rap videos. Don't be a part of the street because it have these type of rules. And you seen his mother, straight gangster, she understood the rules. She accepted what came with it, even though she tried to tell her son to stop talking about the dead. But he's his own man from the environment that raised him. He made the choice he felt he needed to make, which was against what his mother recommended. But at this time, he felt, and he was a man to make his own choice because he chose his lane. He chose his path, and he welcomed it. I've been looking at the videos all week so you understand. You know what I mean? Now, he said, I don't know why the fuck you thought I was losing. You know what I mean? He done knocked that out. So then he went on to say, for any rap niggas finna play, you can get it too. Because I got bodies under my belt, and all I know is shoot. Man, all I know is shoot. He's telling y'all, don't jump out there and make no diss record like how you got the, you know, the Kendrick Lamar and the Drake that, you know, God willing, gonna stay to just words. It already escalated to violence because I'm gonna do a video later on today. Rick Ross got jumped in Canada. You know what I mean? For talking. You know what I mean? Thank God he only got jumped and he didn't get bodied. Because you see, these young men allegedly is taking it to the next level when it comes to violating them. You know what I mean? With this music. So Rick Ross and Kendrick Lamar and Drake and all of y'all over there, you know what I mean? Y'all are leading, y'all are doing a good thing with the, you know, making the rap game interesting, but y'all need to explain to the youngins that's watching this and your followers that's watching this that let's not make this go into a street thing. That this is just us on wax. Don't come after bodies start dropping in Canada and LA and Chicago that now you want to come up and make a statement saying, oh, no one was supposed to take it that far. The beef was supposed to stay on wax. Well, tell them that now, nigga. And stop letting those Europeans use you. Ain't nothing wrong with y'all rap battling. We started that. We started rap battling. But we didn't let it escalate to violence. You see what happened to Biggie and Tupac. And you see what's playing out now with these young men. And you see big-ass Rick Ross got jumped over there in Canada by a bunch of white boys. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all need to really tighten up on this shit, man, because it's going to escalate. And these Europeans is not going to tell you because they want you to kill each other so they can come in, lock you up, and put you in a factory in a prison and take your parents' and grandparents' property and put somebody in there that's going to pay more than the rent that, you know, the government been giving you every month for it. When the government give you $300 a month for rent, and yeah, they do give $300 a month to you rat bastards because y'all living in a plushy suburb, don't know how we really living down there in the hood. When they give you $300 to cover your rent, and your rent is paid for $300, that apartment, if your black ass was out of there, would be worth $3,000 to $4,000. But they giving you $300. They paying $300 on a property that they could get $3,000 for at the low end. You don't think they want their property back? But they can't just pick your black ass up and throw you out. So what they do is they let our kids run wild and poison our kids to go out there and carry on. I was watching the BET Awards yesterday, and I seen every female that came up, they had her ass out. And they tried to get them to look as young as possible to entice our babies. Our 12 and 13 and 14-year-old babies now understand why when I'm driving in New York at 1 in the morning, I see 5 little girls, 12 years old, looking like prostitutes, going to the corner store and walking up and down the block because they watching these videos that the Europeans is pushing out there for our female babies. The same way they're allowing, you know, Rick Ross, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and them to have this little beef and throw it on TMZ and all of this. And they fight with music, but these kids grew up fighting with bullets. So when they diss each other on the records, they fight how they know how to fight, with bullets. When y'all want to fight with just talking trash on social media, and then even the white boys in Canada just showed you where this thing can escalate to. So now you know if Drake go out there to Cali, being that his people out there in Canada, not saying he sanctioned it or ordered it, you know, because 9 times out of 10 he didn't. But his followers decided to put their hands on Rick Ross. So what do you think is going to happen when Drake come to Miami? Now Drake can't go to Miami. You know what I mean? Now he might get banned from L.A. The biggest money maker when it comes to entertainment thing because Kendrick Lamar out there and he out there deep. Just so y'all understand. But like he said it, right? I'm gonna remind y'all of this so you rap niggas understand what's going on before you jump out there and just start talking. That's why I don't come on my YouTube and disrespect nobody because I'm living real life. I know what I'm gonna do to a nigga that jump out there on me. So I expect a nigga to do it to me even faster than I'm gonna do it to him. You know what I mean? So I watch my fucking mouth. End the story. I even did a story about Jaguar Wright. Didn't like a lot of things Jaguar Wright was saying. But a lot of things she was saying, she had facts to because she was there for it. But I let her know that you mentioned the names that's outside the barrels of Diddy. So being that you mentioned the names outside the barrels of Diddy, the people that powers that be that's protecting these people that's still under the cloak that they kicked Diddy from under is going to come get you, sister. So think before you speak and watch the names you mention. Find your target and go at your target. If you feel Diddy's your target, that's your target. If you feel Jay-Z's your target, that's your target. Don't go just shooting a shotgun blindly and thinking that you're going to hit an innocent bystander like a George Clooney per se, not saying he did nothing. You know what I mean? And then these Europeans ain't going to come. They might come and try and body you. Forget trying to lock you up or sue you for slander. Because they play dirty like we do on the street too. So, sister, I love you because you are a sister. You know what I mean? So be careful. Like I said, I keep my number on the screen, man. 917-680-9091, and I answer my call. Hit the notification bell if you didn't and you already subscribed, or subscribe and hit the notification bell and share this video so that these young people know what time it is, because they hold back people with positive message. If I came up here dogging this young man out and dogging Julio Fooley out and dogging out Rick Ross and dogging out Drake, it'll go viral. But because I'm being respectful and trying to uplift our youth and elders, put the brakes on this nigga. We don't want to wake him up. But we want him to feel like he got freedom of speech, but we're going to block and limit how far his speech go. Pay attention, man. Pay attention. Now, Yungeen Ace said, right? I'm going to close it out with it. Yungeen Ace said, I know karma do it all, right? I know get back is due with time. So he's saying he know that karma is going to get him or can get him. And he know that she could come at any time, but he ready for it. Or y'all that's out here making these crazy comments and got these crazy opinions that want to voice your opinion about a life that they're living that you only saw on YouTube, and you feel you need to jump out there and say something. Let the man grow at his pace, but he need the right people around him. That's why if y'all know Yungeen Ace, tell him, and any one of his comrades or anyone out there that's watching this that need a better understanding of what I'm saying and what I've been through to you youngins, so I can let you know what's at the other end. You know, that's like, you know, let me ride one last time. Let me ride one last time. That's like, you know, when I was watching Roots, and from the history books I read, they took ships and brought the ships to Africa. When they brought the ships to Africa, they told them straight up, yo, come on the ship. We got silks and we got this and we got exotic animals. They told them anything to get the black people to come on the ship. Soon as they came on the ship, they hit them in the head. Boop! Bust them in the back of the head. Tied them up, chained them up, and next thing you know, they wound up in a whole new world. You know what I mean? And now they're the slaves. That's the same thing they doing to us. They hiding the truth, putting it in the books, because no one even buy a book anymore. Everybody want to read a book on their phone, but you're not even going to sit there and waste your time trying to read a book 9 times out of 10, you know, if you keep it real. You know what I mean? Unless it's something that really interests you. Instead, you know, you just look for it on TikTok. You know what I mean? To get the short version. Why read the whole book where I can look for it on TikTok? You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're doing. They hiding the truth, you know what I mean, in the books. And they're bringing you to TikTok like how they brought our ancestors on the ship to tell us that TikTok, you know, meaning silk sheets, beautiful women, you know what I mean, exotic animals is on the ship. They're telling you that your life is based on what's in this TikTok. And you know why it's called TikTok? Because the time is ticking. The time is actually ticking for either to wake up, get killed, or go to prison. Now, been on here long enough, but let me say this, right? As you see, Yungeen Ace is acting out a scene from Scarface in the video, right? At the end of the video, he even mentioned Tony Montana's name. He ain't say Montana, but he mentioned Tony, right? The main difference, right, is that you, the viewers, get to change the channel and go to another scene. But Yungeen Ace and these young rappers that's out here in Chicago, Detroit, California, New York, Detroit, Virginia, upstate New York, wherever, y'all are still in that scene. And that's what the viewers don't understand. The viewers don't understand that this is the life that you are living. So don't comment stupidly on it. If you want to ask a question, right? Like I said, that's the main difference, you know what I mean? He said something that I got to speak on. I'll probably do a whole nother video on it. But he said something that, you know, where he said that, I think I spoke on it. I know I missed it. Right here. Right here, this is it. And then I'm going to end out. He said, when Twin and them died, inside my eyes, I lost my mind. He said, when Twin and them died, inside my eyes, I lost my mind. So he's letting you know where it all began. That's how intelligent he is. He knows where it began. And he's telling you that. He's telling you he knows where it began. When Twin and them died in his arms. Just like when I saw those 8x10 pictures of my brother while I was handcuffed and shackled to a metal table in Virginia Beach, I snapped. I made my mind up that they was the ops. And then I allegedly stabbed 2 police in Lewisburg and did 5 years in ADX, like I said yesterday. But I don't want him to have to go through that. I don't want you to have to go through that. That's why I'm sharing these stories with you. And y'all need to share this video with all the young people you know. Don't wait until they commit a crime and then say, man, you know, you should have watched this dude, Unique Maker Audio. You got a chance to watch it now. Share this with them. Sit down with your children, your homies, your comrades in your trap house and watch these videos so you know what you're looking at. Yungeen Ace, make sure you use that number. Somebody get it to them. See, I make these pleas. I don't give a crap if you call or not, Yungeen Ace, you know. But I would love for you to call. But if you choose not to call, I don't care. That's on you. I'm offering my service to try and help you see a bigger picture and help you get through dealing with your demons, because I've been through everything you're doing where I was the leader of the crew. You know what I mean? I was the man. I had all the responsibilities. My brother died right in front of me, the whole 9. And I had other comrades around me die as well that I'm not going to speak on, because even though they're dead, I want their families to just remember that, and that's it. Does this make any sense to y'all? Or am I wasting my time? You can follow me on Twitter, man. I think right there is Unique Maker Crew at Twitter. You know, Instagram, Unique Maker Hall. But like I said, he let you know that when he saw them die in his eyes, you know what I mean? When he saw them die in his eyes, that's when he lost it. You know what I mean? He lost it, you know? And even ask y'all, what you doing about messing with me? Don't you know that I'm on demon time right now? Don't you know I lost my brother in my arms right now? You know what I'll do to you right now? For you know, and you, do you, you can't even explain this shit, what he's going through. And then he told him, you don't want no war with me. And he don't want no war with them, but right now they feel like if they're stuck, and that's why they need to both reach out to me. Anybody from either side, feel free to reach out to me. If you don't, like I said, I don't give a crap. If you do, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. That's the first step towards righteousness and saving your life and becoming a better person and not letting these Europeans trick you in this trick bag they put me in for 26 years of my life, man. I don't want you to be gone for 26 years of your life. I do not want you to go for 26 years of your life. I definitely don't want you to get killed, and I definitely don't want you to get life. You can't fathom what it's like for 26 years saying the same prayer. For 15 years, I said the prayer every night. I kept asking God, God, please make sure my children, my loved ones, my family, and everybody's all right, and make sure I go home this year. This year took 26 years, man, before God answered that. But like Job in the Bible, I never forsaken Job, because I knew why I was there from my actions. And I'm trying to prevent Yungeen Ace, you know, his crew, the other side, all sides, you know, just black people in general from going through what I went through. Cop the book of Roar in Harlem. That's what it looked like right there on the screen. Cop the book of Roar in Harlem right here. All right, right there. You know what I mean? Got to point away from it. Cop the book of Roar in Harlem, man. And make sure you hit the notification bell if you subscribe. Do all that. You know what to do, man. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squealing till the cops make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the rude men.